here is the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I haven't done a vlog in a while because I just didn't feel like there was uh, anything that I needed to share. But as I sit here reflecting on my 5,134 days at 1104 Cavender, I have a lot to share. So bear with me. I'm sorry if this is long-winded. I'm sorry if it's too short. I don't know. Whatever. So on March 18th, 2000, I moved into this house with Mike Bowles. It was the year 2000, so it was time for a big change, and so I bought this house because I needed to be a grown-up. Mike and I lived here for a couple of months before Rick called me one day and said, "Hey, I'm having trouble with my roommate. I need a place to crash until I get on my feet." He lived with me for 12 years. Mike left about a year later. He moved down to Galveston, and then Charlie moved in. That was a bad idea. After Charlie moved out, um, Chris Blake came to a cast party for 6 Degrees of Separation, and he never left. He was brought here by Ryan Roach, which I think is very ironic because he's a theme of this house. Then when Rick went on tour with Barney, Dave moved in for a little while. And then Rick moved back, and it was me, Rick, and Chris for a long time. It was the three of us for a long time. And then Rick made the wise decision to live with his partner, Michael, a couple of years ago, and a year and a half ago, I guess. And then Zach moved in for a little bit. Along the way, Quimby lived here for a little while. Jed and Tim lived here for a while. But always this house has been filled with love and laughter and friends. There's lots of memories to go through. I'm going to try to hit the high points. The parties, obviously, were always epic. The housewarming party was such a blast and filled with so many different people. I think the things that stick out, though, most primarily are the game nights. The game nights were always fun. Just people hanging out at the house, very low-key, playing dice or dominoes or cards, and just laughing and loving. Cast parties were epic here. Epic. The very first party I ever had in this house was How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. That I was the first show, that I did at Theater Arlington, and it was a week after living here. We'd unpacked everything and said, "Well, that's why we have the house, so let's have a party." So I had a cast party, and cast parties became a thing here. There are several that stick out. And if I don't mention the cast party you were at, I'm sorry. It's just that these are the ones that kind of stick out to me. Obviously, the How to Succeed party sticks out. The Lacage party, the best little whorehouse party, was stupid. It was so ridiculous, but so much fun. The boob dance. Brilliant. I said Lacage. The Xanadu party was so much fun because we were supposed to strike on Saturday night when we closed, but instead we decided to have a party here, and everybody stayed, and then we went back to the theater to strike the set. Why did we go back? For the paycheck? Oh, that's right. The Drowsy Chaperone party was another epic party because it was New Year's Eve. And all of the best people in my life were at the show that night. Jed and Tim and Sean and Melissa. And then we all came back here and got all dressed up and had New Year's Eve here. It was so much fun. And Greg's birthday. Just so much fun. It just was so beautiful. The black and white that I did at ICT, the Death Take 1. I think that was the first time that we did a cast shot in front of the fireplace, which became a thing after that. After that, every cast that gathered here did pictures there. The Charlie Brown cast party, which also happened to be my birthday party. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It was so wonderful. The Are We There Yet party was the only time, I think, the entire cast and crew of a show that I did was in the hot tub at one time. The hot tub is a whole other vlog that we'll talk about later. Um, my 40th birthday party here was ridiculous. It was the year that Oprah turned 50, and she threw herself that big party, and I thought, well, hell, I can throw myself a party, so why not? So I did. Red carpet, valet, full bar with Dustin being the bartender, catered the whole 9 yards. It was so much fun, and that particular party brought Philip into my life, and it was the first time that Philip met Ryan, and they would end up being roommates. Other memories that pop in my head. Jed and Rick and I doing each other's hair in the kitchen. We would put on that skull cap thing and pull our hair through and then bleach it. That was a good idea. Okay, it was 10 years ago. Give me a break. Um, the remodel of the kitchen, which brings me to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving 2003. I had just been laid off from work. And was having, at that time, the biggest Thanksgiving I'd ever had. There was 22 people here, including Bruce Coleman and Lisa Ann Heron, and Tim's mom, Jed's dad and stepmom, and my mom and dad, just lots and lots of people. And a pipe busted under the house, and so everything flooded. Something just happened in the house. Oh well, whatever, it's the last night. So it flooded. Luckily, this was before the parties at night had started. So, but we had towels on the carpet and had to keep going. And the crazy thing was that we had dishes piled up everywhere because there was no water. I had to turn it off because it was soaking. Ridiculous. But that brings me to Thanksgivings, and I think the memories that I will take, that I will cherish most from this house, and I cherish volumes of memories from this house, will be the Thanksgivings, and the love that was here, and how lucky I was to share my house with so many people on Thanksgiving, which became my most favorite day of the year. It morphed as the years went on into 4 parties. There was a prep party on Wednesday night where we sliced and diced. It was biscuits and gravy on Thursday morning Thanksgiving morning while we watched the parade. Then there was the meal, the dinner, and then it morphed in the last 5, 6, 7 years into a holiday party. And we used to have Christmas parties here. We had 3, I think. But they were hard and expensive. And so really out of laziness, I'm like, well, Thanksgiving, the house is already clean and no one's going to want food, so just invite people over. And it morphed into such joy to have so many people come through this house on Thanksgiving night. And for the times that you came by and you raised a glass and you shared a laugh and you gave me a hug. And there are hundreds of you. Hundreds of people. I'm truly grateful. Ryan was here for every Thanksgiving that I had here, except for the last one. When he passed away last year, it put into focus to me that I needed to make a change. I had wanted to sell the house for a while, just because it was time. It was time 3, 4 years ago. But that was too hard. It was easier to just keep doing what I was doing. And then Ryan passed away, and I realized that life is too short. So I thank Ryan for making me turn the page. In the year 2000, it was a big year and I needed to make a change. 2014 is a big year too, and it's time for me to make a change. I hope and pray that this change is as good as the last one. And I sincerely thank everyone who walked through these doors and gave me your love. Here's the thing.